Hey everyone, it's Tom from TomandKatie.com, and today is the second video in the workflow series that I planned on doing. And in the original video, I spoke about the benefits of having high-speed memory card readers, and these are actually stackable, so these are even an additional plus to them being high-speed because it allows me to daisy chain multiple readers and have them all import at once at very high speed. These probably cut down our importing time from 10 minutes down to about a quarter of that, so anywhere from like 2 to 3 minutes, and have definitely been one of the biggest benefits into our workflow and making it, a little bit more faster, just so we can get through everything quicker. That way we can move on to other stuff. Anyway, so today we're going to go ahead and talk about I'm going to show you the import of our files and then what we do after we import them, like how we organize them in folders. And also we're going to do some queuing. Now, originally I used to use Camera Raw and Photoshop by themselves. Then once Lightroom became a little bit more popular, I started using Lightroom. And then I was also, someone told me about a program called Photo Mechanic. And everyone that I know that uses Photo Mechanic use it only to queue the files because it loads up the files incredibly fast and you can queue through them very, very quickly, a lot faster than waiting for Lightroom to import, load the files, load the previews, and so on. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that stuff here. Alright, so the very first step is, obviously you take your memory cards out of your memory card wallet, out of your cameras, and then I go ahead and put them in the card reader. So for today's example purposes, I'm going to put 2 cards in. One has approximately 2.3 gigs worth of raw files. Now they're 22 megapixels each, so they're pretty large in file. And the other card has a bunch of just JPEG shots. I think there were large size JPEGs, but those were loaded up incredibly fast. And so I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. And on the screen, you'll see that the memory cards are both going to pop up, and they're going to automatically create a folder on my desktop called Auto Import, I think. Yeah, Auto Import. And they're both going to start immediately downloading the files directly to that folder. Now, this process I set up through, on the Mac, there's a program called Image Capture. And when you plug a memory card reader and you go to Image Capture, it allows you to select an auto import feature, and it also allow you to how do you want to do it? Do you want to create a new subfolder? Where do you want the subfolder to be located? And so on. So mine immediately create a new folder on the desktop called auto import, and it downloads all of the cards at once directly to that folder. So here you saw that the JPEG files immediately downloaded very, very quick. And here we have the raw files downloading currently, and I think this is just a 30 megabyte card, so it's not the super fast one. So it's taking a couple seconds here. And so what I have going on is once all of the files are in the auto import folder, I open up this folder on my desktop called New Event Folders. And all this folder is a placekeeper for all of the folders that I normally use for each event. And most of them are weddings. So what I will go ahead and do is I create a new folder for the specific wedding. Let's just call this Wedding Day, just to be simple. And what I go ahead and do is copy all these folders and paste them into here. So these are just kind of like template folders for each event that I use. I just close out of that. So now I have Wedding Day folder and all of my subfolders created for me quickly. I don't have to sit here and create each one every single time. And then after that, I take the auto import folder and grab all the images that are in here and put them into this folder called raw files. And they just move on over there, and I can just delete that auto import folder. So if you see here, I have keepers, raw files, blog photos, contracts and forms, full-size JPEGs, web-size JPEGs. And let me go ahead and explain to you what these folders are. So obviously the first one you saw that I imported all of the files directly into a folder called raw files. That's kind of like the placekeeper for all of the negatives. The second folder was keeper raw files, and this is what I'm going to do once after I'm done queuing all of the photos and determining which one are the keepers and which ones are the throwaways. All the keepers are going to be kept into this folder here, the full-size raw files. And then after that, after the images are edited in Lightroom or Photoshop, they're going to be exported a few different ways. They're going to export full-size JPEG, a web-sized JPEG, maybe about 800 to 1,000 pixels on the longest side, and then blog photos. Now, blog photos, I use a different program, which we'll get into in another video, that allows me to make these really sweet templates for blogs. It allows me to put pictures side by side, create these collages, and so on. And then the contracts and form folder is for like the wedding contract that I'll scan, any forms that I need to send them, timelines, anything like that, just questionnaires, anything like that. And that's so everything is kept in one folder. So whenever I go to back it up, all I have is just one folder, and that's the one folder that I have to worry about dragging and dropping into different places that I archive them through. So the next thing that we need to go ahead and do is I can actually go ahead and just eject these. So now we're going to go ahead and open up Photo Mechanic, and we're going to go ahead and start queuing these pictures. So all we have to do is open Photo Mechanic, go to where the folder is located, go to the raw files, double click on it, and as you can see, these are instantly available for preview. I mean, like, they are within seconds available. So all I have to do is select the first image and just hit the spacebar to zoom it up. And then all we have to do is just with the left arrow. Now there's a bunch of options on here where you can set like auto next, and you can set it to have colors. I think by default it's actually a color rating instead of a number. So I went and changed it to a star rating. And all I have to do is hit next. And whichever image I decide is absolutely amazing, or let's say like they're good, acceptable, but they're not the ones I want to blog about, or if they're completely outtakes that I don't want, maybe out of focus or something like that, I can give them a star rating. So generally what I do is I give the keepers a 5-star rating. Those are the really good ones. So we'll go through them, and just for the sake of the purpose of the video, we'll just only select the 5-star pictures and not just the keepers or the outtakes. So we'll go through these and just give them 5-star rating for each one that I want to keep. And you can pretty much go back and forth with these pretty quickly. All you got to do is just go through them. So like that one seems a little out of focus. I would throw that one out. Not sure what she's doing there with her hand. So all I do is just quickly go through these. Just make sure the exposure looks okay, make sure it's, correctly framed. I actually went through these pictures once already before, but these are the just pictures I had available to do the purpose of the queuing video and whatnot. And so I just go through these fairly fast. Sometimes I go back just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And I generally, have to go through it a few times. I know I should probably work on that just to be a little bit more efficient and not have to repeat the same thing over and over, but I'm always excited to look at the shots and want to just work on those great shots right away. And so anyway, those are the JPEG images that we loaded. We'll go ahead and skip those. So now we have our images that we want that are 5-star. So the quickest way to select all the 5 stars is just go ahead and hit edit and select star rating and then choose 5, and it automatically highlights all of the 5-star ratings. Alright, so once you have the 5-star images selected, all you have to do is right click on it and choose copy selected photos. We go ahead and move photos and copy to this folder. So we click on here, go to the desktop where the folder is located, wedding day, and keeper raw files. Go ahead and select that, and then all we have to do is just move. So this will instantly move those photos into a new folder, and if we go into the folder here, you'll see that they're right here. So here are all the keeper files that we selected with 5 stars, and then all the original non-selected images stay in the raw files here, which is fantastic. So yeah, so that's how we import our images, folder them, like organize them, and then also queue the files. What we're going to talk about in the next video is some really quick Lightroom editing and how we export, and then how we take care of our blog photos as far as our program that we use for the blog templates. So if you have any questions about workflow or how you can speed up your workflow, if you have any questions, if you want any tips or anything like that, just let us know. Take care. Bye-bye.